Something is different about this year. Not in a dramatic or catastrophic way. Not in a way that makes the news with the urgency of a crisis. In a quiet, consistent, underneath everything way that most people are too busy to notice. The matrix is changing, not disappearing, not being defeated, changing, evolving, becoming something more sophisticated and more integrated into every layer of daily life than it has ever been before. And the question that matters, the one that connects everything this series has been building toward, is not whether you are aware that this is happening. The question is whether you are prepared for it. Not with fear, with the specific kind of awareness that the previous 10 messages in this series have been developing in you. Because the people who understand what the matrix actually is and what it is becoming are the ones who will navigate what is coming with clarity, instead of being swept along by it without knowing what is happening to them. Let me show you what is actually going on in 2026. Let me be specific about what is happening right now in 2026. The largest companies in the world, the ones whose products you use every day without thinking much about them, are in the middle of the most significant technological transition in human history. And most of it is happening in the background while you are going about your ordinary day. Artificial intelligence is no longer an experiment or a novelty or a tool that some companies are testing. It is becoming the backbone of how everything works, how information is found and filtered and presented to you, how decisions are made about what you see and what you do not, how the systems that run the economy and the healthcare and the infrastructure of daily life are being operated and optimized. The companies competing in this space right now, and they are competing with an intensity that the word competition does not fully capture, are not primarily competing for your money. They are competing for something more significant than that. They are competing for your attention, your data, your patterns, your behavior, the accumulated record of every choice you make, and every preference you reveal, and every moment of vulnerability or desire or fear that you express through your interaction with their systems. Not because they are evil, because that information is the raw material of the new matrix. And the new matrix, the one being built right now in the background of 2026, is more personalized, more responsive, more intelligent, and more invisible than anything that came before it. Now I want to talk about the new tools, because 2026 is genuinely bringing remarkable things that would have seemed like science fiction a generation ago that are arriving now as ordinary consumer products. AI that can see and hear and reason and create. Devices that anticipate your needs before you have finished forming the thought. Systems that can navigate complex decisions and manage complicated tasks with a fluency and speed that no human being could match. These tools are real, and they are genuinely useful. The question is not whether to use them. The question is whether you are using them, or they are using you. Because every new tool that enters your life also enters your attention, your time, your interior world. And the companies that built that tool designed it, specifically to becoming as integrated into your daily experience as possible. Not because integration is inherently bad. Because integration is how attention is held. And held attention is the raw material of the new matrix. The person who approaches the new tools with the awareness of what they actually are, genuinely useful instruments that are also sophisticated systems designed to hold your attention and learn from your behavior. That person can use them powerfully without being used by them. The person who picks them up without that awareness becomes a data point in someone else's system before they have had a chance to decide whether that is what they want to be. God has not asked you to refuse the new tools. He has asked you to remain the one holding them. Let me describe the competition that is happening right now that most people are not aware of. The largest technology companies in the world are competing with each other at a level and intensity that has no historical precedent, not just for market share or profit, for the foundational position in the next era of human civilization, for the infrastructure that everything else runs on, for the systems that will mediate how billions of people experience reality, find information, make decisions, and understand themselves in the world. This competition is real, and it is significant, and you are in the middle of it without having been asked whether you wanted to be. Every platform you use, every service you depend on, every device in your home that is connected to the internet. These are all positions in a competition whose stakes are larger than any individual participant fully grasps. The companies involved are not thinking primarily about you as a person. They are thinking about you as a node in a network, as a source of data, as a behavior pattern that can be learned and predicted and influenced, as a unit of attention that can be held and directed and monetized. None of this is a conspiracy. It is just what large systems do when they are competing for dominance. And the question for you, the specific and personal question that connects this observation to everything this series has been saying, is where you are standing in relation to all of it. Are you a node in someone else's network? Or are you a person with an interior life and a calling and a relationship with something that exists entirely outside every system that has ever been built to contain you? Both are possible. Only one of them is who you actually are. I want to tell you what God says about this year. Not in a political way, not with a specific position on which company is right and which is wrong, or which technology is good and which is dangerous. Just the honest and consistent thing that has been true across every era of human history. When the systems of the world were changing rapidly and the people inside those systems were trying to find their footing, He is not surprised. Not by the speed of the change or the scale of the competition or the sophistication of the new matrix being built or the genuine disruption that the new tools are bringing to every area of life. He saw 2026 before 2026 had a name. And what he said then is what he says now. You were made for this moment, not despite the technological transformation happening around you, not in spite of the competition and the complexity and the pace of change. For it. As a person with a specific interior life and a specific calling and a specific capacity for the kind of depth and clarity and spiritual awareness that no algorithm has ever been able to replicate or replace. The Matrix, in every version it has ever taken, including the sophisticated 2026 version currently being built, has never been able to produce what you carry. It can process information. It cannot generate wisdom. It can hold attention. It cannot create genuine connection. It can learn your patterns. It cannot know your soul. And in a world where the new matrix is becoming more intelligent and more integrated and more present in every layer of daily life, The things it cannot do become more valuable, not less. You carry things the new matrix cannot replicate. That is not incidental to this moment. That is exactly why this moment needs you. So how do you navigate this year specifically? Not in a practical technology tips way. There are plenty of places to get that. In the specific and interior way that this series has been developing across 11 messages. The first thing is to stay grounded in what the matrix cannot touch. Your interior life. Your relationship with something that exists outside every system. Your capacity for depth and reflection and genuine connection. Your calling. These are the things that no version of the matrix, however sophisticated, has ever been able to reach. Keep developing them. Keep investing in them. Keep treating them as the most valuable things you carry, because in 2026, that is exactly what they are. The second thing is to use the new tools with intention, not avoidance, not fear, intention. Pick up each new tool with the clear awareness of what it is, a useful instrument designed by a system that would also like to hold your attention, and decide consciously how much of your attention it actually deserves. Use it for what it is genuinely useful for, and then put it down. The third thing is to protect your interior silence. Because the new matrix in 2026 is more effective than any previous version at filling every moment of potential silence with something. A notification, a recommendation, a piece of content calibrated specifically to your patterns to hold your attention for a few more seconds. The silence is where you hear what matters most. Protect it. My child, 2026 is not a year to be afraid of. It is a year to be present for. The matrix is changing, becoming more sophisticated, more integrated, more intelligent. The competition happening in the background of your daily life is real and significant. The new tools arriving are genuinely powerful, and none of it changes the most important thing. You carry something the new matrix cannot replicate: wisdom, depth, genuine connection. A calling placed in you before any of these companies existed. A relationship with something that sees the entire technological landscape of 2026 the way you see a map, completely, from above, without being lost inside it. Stay grounded in that. Use the new tools with intention. Protect the silence where the most important things are heard. And move through this remarkable and complex year as the person you actually are, not a node in someone else's network, but a human being with an interior life that the most sophisticated system ever built has never been able to reach. You were made for this moment, not despite everything happening in 2026. For it. Subscribe to Matrix Override and turn on notifications. This is part 11. Go back and watch the full series from part 1. Every message builds on the last. Type, "I am prepared" in the comments. You were made for this moment. Until the next one, awakened choosers.